Ah, it's nighttime, and there's nothing quite like the sound of static on a TV screen as it receives no signal. But wait, normally when my TV doesn't receive a video signal, it's blue. But that means... No, it couldn't be. It is! It's the Atari 2600! You thought my NES was old? I got that when I was 6. This thing's as old as I am. I think it's my grandparents on account the TV type switch is broken. Yeah, you could choose between having it display in color or a special black and white mode. I don't really see much of a point, cause
it's not like the colors blend together when you play it on a black and white screen. Maybe there's something I'm not aware of.
I think my parents and my aunt and uncle each owned one as well, which would explain why I've got 2 copies of a bunch of these. Oh, wait a sec. I noticed that a few games are missing, though. E.T. in particular, though whether that's good or bad is up to personal opinion. And here's the RF adapter. Yeah, you know you're dealing with an old console whenever you're dealing with these. It comes with an interesting switch here. A knob that either goes to the computer or the TV. I guess back then computers actually used these things, or maybe it's something else. I don't know. Looks like it has a... Maybe this is detachable for something else. It comes nicely labeled. That one connects to the TV, and this one you connect to the antenna. I don't have an antenna because I don't have TV to speak of, but the downside is it's connected to the console itself. So I'm going to have to go in there and route it all the way back behind my TV, all the way up to my VCR. That's going to be fun. And no, I'm not going to show it. I have several different controllers for this thing. The first one is pretty standard, the large joystick with a button on top. It's probably the one I use the most because for some reason pushing up is unresponsive, so it's not very useful. The second, I'm not entirely sure how to hold this thing. Is it going up or is it going down? I find it interesting that it has 2 buttons though, because most Atari games don't really use more than one. The third one has a smaller joystick and a little button. If you can tell, it tells you where the top is, and I guess down here's the bottom, so kind of stiff, but it's pretty neat because you can see the cord inside. And the fourth one looks more suitable for an arcade. This joystick here with a fancy shape and button on top, button on the side. It's really stiff though, I can't really see myself using it much. Although the suction cups on the bottom is a nice touch, it really helps make things more difficult when you stick it to your TV. Lastly, there's the paddle controller. It's pretty cool because it's actually 2 controllers in one, allowing for the possibility of 4 players. Unfortunately, this one is sort of broken. Not only is the knob ripped off of one of the controllers,
but it's not really responsive, which kinda sucks because there's this one game I wanted to show off that uses it. Oh well.
I'm going to be using the Sega Genesis controller. Yeah, can you believe it? It actually works on the Atari. Not sure if that was something I figured out on my own or learned somewhere on the internet. Unfortunately, the cord on this thing is pretty short. Even shorter than on a GameCube controller. And that's just sad. And so, it looks like I'm going to have to play this sitting down. But that's how you did it as a kid anyway, right? Alright, time for some games. Let's take a look at Frogs and Flies. Bit of an odd cartridge, isn't it?
This game is for 1 or 2 players. You take the role of a frog, and the goal is to eat more flies than your opponent. Sounds pretty simplistic, huh? Well, it's actually pretty impressive for what it is. You can control how high and how far you can jump, depending on how long you hold on a direction. And you have to time your slurps just right in order to tongue up some flies. So it actually takes a bit of skill. And when you don't have a second player with an appetite for flies, the other frog can be controlled by the computer. There's no prize for winning, but it's kind of fun. This is one of my favorite games as a child, and the gameplay still holds well today, IMO. It's certainly not a pretty game, but what's really neat is that as time passes on, night eventually falls, the frogs head to bed, and you're treated to some nice 4-bit ambience. Now, at this point, you might have noticed that this seems more like a let's take a look at than it does a let's play. Well...
Alright, time for some games. Let's take a look at...
There you have it. But you guys started watching this to see an LP, and I intend to deliver.
So, let's play... Robot Tank by Activision, apparently. They were one of the first third-party developers, so let's see what we got here.
Well, what we got is actually a pretty good game, which only makes sense because back then Activision was king of third parties. So what we've got apparently got here is an open field with mountains in the background. We've got a radar there, and if you can see it, there's a little dot on the radar, which represents the other tank. It's you versus the other tank, and now it's going into auto mode, so... Let's see. I see the life counter down there, and 4 icons. V, R, C, and T. Oh, and apparently there's a day counter or something up there. Alright. So, let's get this started. Start off on an open field. Well, actually, it's all an open field. Kind of makes it sound like it's going to be an easy task to either hit or get hit, but as you'll find out, it's actually going to get pretty interesting, and you can start seeing why. So let me start this over, that way I can actually get into the game. First tank is easy. Alright, hey, I got a tank counter up there. Alright, let's see, where's the next one? There he is. Eventually he starts firing at you and starts moving around, which makes him harder to hit. Oop. Now this is where things start getting interesting already, because as time goes on, it becomes... Well, actually, that's just it. Time passes on. And that's where it gets tricky, because it gets so dark that you can't see the tank. Until... Come on, fire at me. Did you see him? Ah, I got hit. That's gotta be the coolest effect on an Atari game when you get hit. Alright, time to take this seriously, because I can actually do pretty good at this, and... There he is, I got him. Interestingly, your bullets move with your tank. Uh-oh, there's the C flashing. I'm trying to remember what happens when the C is flashing. Oh, I got hit again. Well, on the plus side, that means I'm back to normal. Oh, C is for your cannon. Yeah, normally you can shoot at this rate. But whenever the C starts flashing, that means your cannon's worn out and you can't shoot as fast. That's pretty much what all those icons represent, is something wearing out, and that's how this game adds difficulty. Or at least one way this game adds difficulty. Along with, of course, night. Alright, now I've got the hang of this. Oh, that's interesting. You can shoot out their bullets, too. Yay! I'm on a roll now. You cannot defeat me. But yeah, I think the longer you go on... Okay, I have to rely on the radar here. The longer you go on without losing a tank... Yeah, at night you really have to rely on the radar. I don't know if you can see it because it's a really tiny dot on the... Ow. I really hope my capture device is catching that because it's a really cool effect. Oh, crud. There's the R. Yeah, I still managed to get him. R is when your radar goes out, which at nighttime is really sucky. Oh, and now it's raining. There's two different weathers, too. There's rain and there's snow. I'm not entirely sure what the difference is, although now that it's raining, I can actually see him. So, yay for rain. Not entirely sure what rain does, though. Sure to affect something, but who knows. Alright, any moment now, another one of my things is going to go out. Now, at this rate, it isn't. Come on. Whoa, that guy's really firing at me now. Another squadron defeated! I am invincible! Come on, I know you're out here somewhere. Ow. I think the moment you destroy the other tank, its bullet automatically disappears. So as long as your bullet reaches him first, it doesn't matter if his bullet is heading straight towards you. Wow, this is better than I did. Ooh, fog alert. Not entirely sure what fog affects either, because you can certainly see him. Oh, I get it. You can't see him until you're closer to him. I wonder if that's how rain and snow work. Maybe visibility is different depending on the level, on the weather type. So there's 3 different types of weathers. There's fog, there's rain, there's snow. Might be something else too. Fog ain't nothing. Oh great, now it's raining. I mean... Oh, there goes my radar again, just in time for night. Doesn't affect me none. Much. Oh, there went my cannon. Can't fire as fast now. Well, now I can. Eventually the V and T will light up and I'll be able to explain those. Well, that was fast. I must be doing so good they're starting to wear out faster. Yeah, just shoot blindly and hope that you hit him. And he doesn't hit you. Come on, daytime. I could use your... there went my cannon, but at least I have my radar. I believe that's as close as I can get. I already tried running into him, and you can't. Even in the with the first tank, where he just sits still for a few seconds, allow you to get an easy shot. No! And that ended that. Let me reset though. That's pretty good. 4 days. I assume that's 17 hours. And 12 times 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. A lot of tanks. Let me start over because I really want to show you what the T and V do. Especially the T. I can explain the T. But the V, you really have to see for yourself how not good it is if it goes out. In the meantime, any guess what they're for? We've already had the C for the cannon, we've already had the R for the radar. Alright, that confirms one suspicion. The other tank cannot shoot you from behind. He has to actually be on screen. Even if on screen happens to be black on black. Boom. Boom. Yeah, I'm gonna get you. Daytime, and I haven't been shot yet. I'm doing better this time. Yay! Definitely better. Which means, isn't it about time for something to go out? That's enough to give you seizures, though, if it happens enough. Eep. Well, for certain you can turn faster if you're sitting still than you can if... No, my mistake. He just kept changing directions on me. Come on, something needs to go out. Give me a new challenge. Where is he on the radar? There he is. You can't hide from me. Ah, come on, do something different. Did it just wear out the cannon two times in a row? At this point, you're probably... I bet you're probably waiting for something... for me to move on to a different game. But I really want to show you the V. Come on, let me shoot you. I wonder how far I can get from this guy. Okay, I guess there's a certain limit to I can get away from him. You know what? I have an idea. I've already pretty much shown you the gameplay. What I'm gonna do is just keep this guy behind me. See if I can lure one of my things into a trap. As long as my radar isn't the first thing to go out. That little dot on the radar is pretty difficult to see, though. I'll be surprised if you guys can see it. Okay, there's a challenge. Let's just speed this up. Well, okay, so there's snow. Apparently lose tracking. And there's the V. Yay! V is for visuals. And there goes my T. Ugh! So you saw what happened there. V, your vision goes out, and the screen is like all on and off, on and off. The T, which you didn't get to see much of, partly because of the V, is traction, or treads, whichever you want to do, in which you move slower. You know, I wonder how many days this thing can allow for. I suppose I could find out, but I don't think it's worth trying to find out. So, that was Battle Tanks, everybody. Or not Battle Tanks, that's a different game. That was Robot Tank.
Let's take a look at Jungle Hunt.
This game is pretty much a Pitfall clone, and the reason I say that is because I've always confused it for Pitfall, even though I've never actually played Pitfall. The goal of the game is to go through the 4 stages to rescue your girlfriend who has been captured by natives. The first stage is pretty simple. You just swing across some vines and don't miss them. The second stage is more interesting. You're apparently swimming through the river, and is that even the same guy? I don't know. And there's crocodiles in the river. At this point, I'd like to mention that some sprite flickering techniques will be used, and thus you won't be able to see it all on screen at once. The general goal is to just swim to the other side of the river, but you can go ahead and punch the crocodiles along the way. Don't see much point, because the only thing you have to do is swim across, and all punching crocodiles does is give you a few hundred points. And not only is it difficult to actually hit the crocodiles, but you also gotta worry about not running out of air while you're underwater. Oh, but come on now, how many games allow you to punch a crocodile? The third stage is where things get more difficult. You've got a bunch of boulders coming your way, and you have to jump over the small ones and duck under the big ones. The small ones are pretty easy to jump under, but the big ones is not exactly easy to time. And then there's the fourth stage where you meet the natives, and the goal is to jump over them. Be successful and you have to get away from them as they try to chase you. If you're unsuccessful, you pretty much impale yourself on their spears. And then finally, you reach your girlfriend, you get a few hundred points or so, and you have to rescue her all over again. Maybe she and Pauline went to the same damsel in distress school. So it's a pretty short game, but pretty fun. And remember how I said in an earlier episode how impressed I was that some NES games use parallax scrolling? Well, this game has it on beat.
Another Let's Play. This one is Swordquest Fireworld. Yeah, it has a subtitle. I guess it's a sequel. Pretty cool, though. Comes with its own comic. Not really sure what it's about. I'm assuming that it's a continuation, and well, judging by the number 2, yeah, it's a continuation, and I missed out on the other ones, but let's play the game anyway.
Okay, so here's the first screen. I assume I'm the only character on the screen. Yep, that's me. I guess I'm wearing a cape or something. And I automatically turn to the side no matter... Ooh, I got stuck! Whee! So I got 3 different paths here. Which way should I go? Well, apparently I can't move diagonally, but... Well, no penalty for running into things, so let's go left. Well, the first thing I can say is the screen transition is pretty neat. Go down. The second thing I can say is there's no rhyme or reason for what room you end up in, because I went down into a room. Shouldn't I have come from an exit on top? Which way did I come from? What is this, random? You're just placed on a random screen or something? Well, here's this room again. Well, I guess it's not random. It's just... doesn't make complete sense. The third thing I noticed is that there doesn't seem to be anything in any of these rooms. Oh, I'm back here again. Let's go up. And up some more. I'm just going to keep not going up. Well, let's press a button and see what happens. Whoa, what the heck is this? Okay, I guess I'm the stick at the bottom. Am I supposed to catch a bunch of these guys? Maybe not. Let me see if I can do that again. Okay, let's try dodging them. Well, so far that's pretty easy. Oop, here they come. Kinda sucky how they seem to blend into the background at times. I mean, they sort of blend in to begin with. I hit one. Hope that doesn't penalize me for anything. Oh, gee whiz, these are coming down super fast now. Oh, there's something. Let's see here. Okay. Not entirely sure what these things are. I guess this here is a shield and this here is a spear. Okay, I'm putting them at the bottom there. And are these equipped? Can I do anything with them? Well, here's a room I haven't been in before. Let's try pressing a button in here. Oh, it's just that again. Oh, forget that. Wonder what happened to the... What the... What? That was an interesting glitch. I've never seen that before. Okay, different room. Let's see if pressing the button does anything here. Okay. I seem to be the basket, I guess, on the bottom. And rather than move me, I'm moving the things that are falling. Well, I can easily just dodge them all if I hold right. Although... yeah, I guess I'm supposed to be catching them. Nope, missed. Let's see, yeah. Holy cow. Come on, you can do it. How many of these am I supposed to... Oh, there we go. Well, got a couple things. Oh, I got a sword now. So I'm gonna put back the spear and... I guess that thing next to the sword is a trident. But I want to use the sword and shield. Boy, this thing is stiff. I press right, nothing happened. Come on, move right. But nope, you have to actually hold it in order to get it to move. That's pretty bad. Okay, so we finished that room. Let's go to another different room. Oh, I'm back in here again. Okay. Let's go right instead. Okay, here's this... Boy, that's bright. Okay, well, it seems to be the same thing. I wonder if I win anything different. I like how the game just stalls whenever you lose. Okay, I did win something different. But this screen is so blue and so oversaturated, I have no idea what I'm looking at. What happened to my other stuff? Well, whatever. Let's put that away. I'll grab these two. I'm not entirely sure what they are, but okay. Go to the right. Have we tried in here yet? Okay. Oh, now I can move this. So, I'm assuming I'm catching these falling birds. I didn't get anything. Let me try that again. Well, it starts off with it being like, you miss, except there's nothing down to me. I also notice that these things are doing that blend into the background thing again. Why does the basket look like that? Okay, I don't think I'm going to get anything out of that thing. Okay, this is a different shade of blue. Whoa, what the heck? Okay. Well, I'm the spinning thing at the bottom. And... oh, it's a shooter! I'm guessing... well, I'm not sure. Okay. Well, maybe, I think that's a sword and I'm throwing myself at the bad guys. Is there any way to get to win this? I assume getting to that one screen counts as winning. Come on, I want to win. I wonder if you can even see those lines that are coming down at me, because they're flashing, and if you've seen other videos of old games, then you'll know that video captures don't handle flashings so well in all these old games that use it. What happens is the image is either completely there or completely invisible to the recording, so... okay, I'll give up on that room. Back to this room, screw that. Oh, I just went left and it brought me to this room again. Let's go up here. No, I don't want that room. Is there any rhyme or reason to where these paths bring me? Have I been here? Oh, this is different. Alright. I guess I'm the bird this time, and I'm shooting the worms. What happens if I hit the... okay. Hitting the wall is bad. And I guess hitting the worms is bad. Yep, hitting the worms, I automatically lose. So even though I'm a bird, I can't actually... go, oh, I can shoot in different directions. How convenient. I got a glass of water. Well, let's put away my shield so I can hold the glass of water. I think that's a shield. I think I also got a coin. Maybe I can buy the answers to this stupid game, because I have no idea what I'm doing. Is there another room I'm missing? I'm missing everything together. I have no idea what I'm doing. What am I doing? Anybody know?
Well, you remember that comic that the game came with?
Well, what you're supposed to do is take those items you win from these mini-games and wear them in a specific order in specific rooms. What will happen then is an image will appear in the room you use them in. This image is a clue. And once you have the clue, you're supposed to take the comic
And then find the clues somewhere inside. I don't know really where they are.
It's kind of sad, actually. When I was playing this as a kid, and I was finding all these objects from winning the minigames, I thought I was onto something. Little did I know what the real purpose of this game was. Seems that Atari was holding some big contest with a whole bunch of Swordquest games, and the winner of each contest won some sort of special item, like a water cask, or I think the grand prize was a sword. Well, as it turns out, the contest never actually finished. The last game was cancelled. So even if I did start figuring out what to do with all the items and the clues in the comic, I really wouldn't have been able to put them to much use.
Alright, let's take a look at Sub Hunt. Is this even an Atari game? I don't know, whatever. Let's take a look at Video Pinball instead. You thought pinball on the NES was primitive? Well, you're right, but check this out anyway.
Yeah, there's no way a pinball table like this would work in real life. It's not completely devoid of features, though. I mean, you've got your standard bumpers and flippers. Other interesting things, the little spiral things can either stall or redirect your ball. The little slot on the left there gives you a variant amount of bonus points when you lose your ball, depending on how many times the ball goes through it. The sparkly dots at the top act as a multiplier. They make it so the bumpers give you more points when you hit, if you collect all three. What's really nice is that this effect lasts for the entire game, so the earlier you grab it, the better. And the slot on the right is the most confusing, the Atari logo there. If you get through it 3 times, the 4th time an X appears along the markers along the bottom. What happens then, I'm not entirely sure. I never was able to get it on video, and I never paid much attention to what happened, and I'm too busy paying attention to what's going on with the ball as I'm playing to pay attention to what happens whenever I manage it off camera. So it's a mystery to me. I've also heard there's supposed to be a tilt feature, but I've never been able to manage that. The real pathetic thing about this game is how easy it is. You don't even have to use the flippers to keep the ball in the air. I mean, just look at this. Pathetic. For its time, though, it's not really a bad game. You can play it with a couple players. Really is pretty simplistic, though. And personally, I think I'll always choose pinball on the NES.
And now the coup de grace, or however it's pronounced. Berzerk.
Prepare yourselves for the most evil being to grace a video game. His very name causes nightmares in children of the 80s. He will watch his victims die with a smile on his face. He is Evil Otto. And I'm pretty serious about the nightmare thing too. And that was like years after I had forgotten this game. So that's how traumatizing Evil Otto is. Either that or this was simply because it's one of my favorite games on the Atari. But then again, if that were the case, I'd be having dreams about Super Mario Bros. 3. Gosh, I wish I did. It would be fun having a raccoon tail. Anyway, this game has... Well, first off, it has this nice color-swapping title screen, quote unquote, where it just goes through a bunch of palette swaps. But anyway, it has 4 different modes. The first one, you gain a life every 1,000 points. The second one... No, wait, the other way around. The first one, you gain a life every 2,000 points. Second mode, every 1,000 points. The third mode, you don't get any extra lives. And the fourth mode, you gain extra lives every 1,000 points, but the robots never shoot you. Now, within each of these 4 modes is Evil Otto. One mode, he's not there. The second mode, he's there and he can be shot down temporarily. And the third mode, he's completely invincible. What I'm going to be doing is 3, 4, 5... Is that 6 or 5? I can't tell. Saturation on these old games is kind of... I think that's 6. We'll find out. But I'm going to be playing with every 2,000 points required to get a 1-up, and Evil Otto is there. Now, I should point out right now that because of this whole deal with it being an old game and there being flashing going on, what this game in particular does is, when Evil Otto is on screen, it alternately flashes between your character and Evil Otto. So what's going to happen is, you're either going to see only me or only Evil Otto at times. Yep, that's game number 6. So, let's get started. You can shoot in 8 directions, just hold the button to fire. And the first room is pretty easy. The robots are really slow moving and they don't shoot. And there's Evil Otto. Dang, I'm gonna lose already. Let's just start over. Yeah. Ooh, almost started me off in a sucky situation. So yeah, first room pretty easy. Now, I'm gonna sit for a moment, and when Evil Otto appears... Okay, at first he's really slow moving, but once you defeat all the robots on the screen, he's moving really fast. Now, on the second map is when they start firing, although their laser blasts are pathetically slow. But as you go on, the laser blasts get faster, and so do the robots themselves. So it actually becomes pretty difficult eventually. Evil Otto apparently moves faster left to right than he does up and down. Morse code! Yeah, you don't have to actually defeat all the robots in a room. You could just skip the room entirely if you feel that it's gonna screw you over. But there's a nice bonus to actually defeating all the robots in a room. You get an extra 10 points for every robot that the room had. Now you've all probably noticed, but these walls are dangerous. If I hit them, I'm screwed. If I hit them, I lose a life. Fortunately, the same also applies to the robots. Also is interesting... Yee! I'm out of here. What's also interesting is the robots self-destruct when they also hit each other. Actually, pretty much everything destroys the robots. Your own fires, their fires, the walls, each other. And evil oil can destroy them too. Yeep! The fact that they self-destruct on the walls is pretty useful because sometimes they're in a hard-to-reach spot or they're too far away, so best strategy is to... Wow, those things are... Laser blasts are going fast now. So the best thing might be to sometimes sit in place for as long as you can until they hit the wall and you get the extra points. Oh, I'm screwed. Help! Now, eventually, the robot speeds resets back to really slow. Although their laser blasts always remain fast. Really fast. Occasionally the game screws you over and places on top of robots. It's come pretty close to doing that, but so far I'm done pretty good at avoiding that situation. Oh, this is gonna suck. Ooh, I made it. I didn't think I'd make it. Thankfully, you can shoot diagonally and the robots can't. In this version, this is actually a port of an arcade game. And it's a pretty decent port. The gameplay is pretty accurate. Oh, I'm gonna be screwed. Help! Although the mazes are smaller and not really maze-like. Come on down, come on down. Stop shooting me. Okay, he's not coming down. Okay, I'm gonna lose. Helpful that only they can only all shoot collectively one bullet, one laser at a time. Although, okay, that just sucked. I want to try it again. I can do better than that. I've made it to 10,000 points on this mode, and on the one where you can get a 1-up every 1,000 points, I've made it to 50,000 points. By the way, guys, especially those of you who run the RPG Maker magazine, I've got a challenge for you. Actually, I've got a challenge for all of you who are at my RPG Maker magazine. This would be an awesome game for the arcade at the mag. Problem is, I was able to find one Flash version of this game, but it runs like at half the speed and is a port of this version and rather than the arcade version. What would be really nice is if the arcade version were at the mag, or some sort of similar game. Cause this game spawned a bunch of other games like Robotron. It would be really good to neat to have a game like this in the arcade. And then I could have a game that I would completely own bonds at. Yeah, now I got the hang of this. Although the bullets aren't... Okay, probably wasn't smart to be sitting that close to the robot. Thank you. What about you? Are you going to hit the wall? No, probably not. Ooh. That was sliding against the wall there. Oh, this is going to be tricky. Or maybe not. It helped that they ran into the walls. I can't get them. It's too bad you guys can't see me and Evil Auto at the same time, because then you'd know that how close I am to running out of time. This guy is persistent on every map. Funny thing though, I can recall him going faster than this. Maybe he just goes faster in the arcade version. Cause of course it's an arcade version. All the arcades are harder than their console ports. They gotta eat up those coins somehow. Please hit the wall, please hit the wall, please hit the wall. Screw. Oh, I cancelled out the... Oh, darn, that would have been such a awesome survival deal. You know what? Never mind. Come on, let me show these people how good I really am at this game. I can make it to 10,000. Yeet. Oh no, you don't. Help. I gotta remember not to tackle these guys head on. Okay, I see myself not winning in this situation, so I'm gonna just move on. Sometimes that's the smart thing to do. Ooh. Aw, forgot about that guy down there. Paying too much attention to the one on my side. Come on, I needed one up. I'm out of extra lives. No, get away. Run into the wall. Woo! That was close. Oh, there's an interesting trick with this game. I doubt I'll be able to show you it. But you see that gap between my head and my body? Lasers can actually go through that without harming you. It's certainly not easy to accomplish, and not actually something you want to try on purpose. Which is why I'm not actually going to show you on purpose. Somebody else hit the wall? No? Okay. I love it when they all cooperate like that. Okay, I don't see myself getting... Oh! Maybe if I can get down there fast enough. Nope. I'm gonna flee now. Help, 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 help! No hope of that. Yee! Ow. Well, I'm about to get a 1-up. Fortunately, the 1-ups count even after you lose a life. See? Evil Auto destroys the robots. Alright. Yeah, I have no hope of that, so I'm just going to move on. Thank you! Now you also saw an example of robots shooting down their own kind. Next, I'd like to show you what happens if they run into each other. And they explode. You don't have to see it. Alright, I'm on my last life again, and I've got 1,500 points to the next one up. Oh, once again I failed to pay attention to one of the robots. Well, I came close to 10,000 points. And that was Berzerk. Definitely one of my favorite games, and definitely somebody needs to find a game like this for the Mags Arcade. 'Cause this game is just awesome and frantic and really, really fun.
Now, I know that I haven't gone over a whole lot of games, and there's some obvious classics I missed out on. Well, Breakout obviously can't be played because paddle controllers are broken, and Pac-Man, the Atari version sucks because it's only a beta release. But that's not the point. I just wanted to show off a few of noteworthy games, and that was it. But just to be fair, you guys can watch the credits while I play some Laser Blast.
Okay, this isn't so bad. Pretty easy, actually. Looks like the tanks are coming in a little faster, though. Are we done yet? This is taking a while. Okay, I'm willing to accept that maybe, just maybe, I should have played on one of the higher difficulty levels. Did I win? Next time on Let's Play with Dragon, it's finally time for one of my favorite games as I begin a fight for life in a zombie invasion. Well, sorta. Halloween begins in Night to Pawn.